Love English podcast.
Hello, everyone, and a very warm welcome back to Love English Podcast. I'm Emma, and I'm so happy to have you here with us.
And I'm Leo. Hello, everyone. It's great to be back. Emma, I've been thinking a lot about the big picture of my English learning. I feel like I'm doing a lot of things right. I'm learning vocabulary, I'm listening to podcasts, I'm trying to understand grammar, but when it comes to the most important skill, speaking, I feel like I am failing.
That's a very common and very frustrating feeling, Leo. Can you describe it more? What does it feel like when you try to speak?
It feels like I'm trying to drive a car with the handbrake on. I know where I want to go. I have the words in my head somewhere. I know the grammar rules somewhere. But when I push the pedal, the car just moves very slowly. It makes a lot of noise, and it feels like everything is shaking. There is no flow. There is no smoothness. I am not fluent. Why is it so hard to speak fluently?
Leo, that is the perfect question, and your car analogy is brilliant. Driving with the handbrake on. That's exactly what it feels like. And the truth is, there isn't just one handbrake. For most learners, there are 4 different handbrakes that are all pulled up at the same time. These are what I call the 4 fluency blocks.
4 fluency blocks. So it's not just one problem, it's a combination of problems.
Exactly. And to become fluent, you need to understand each of these blocks and then learn how to release each handbrake one by one. Are you ready to look at your car's system and see which brakes are on?
Yes, absolutely. I want to release all of them. What is the first and probably the biggest fluency block?
The first block is the one we've touched on before, but it is the most important. It is the translation machine. This is the habit of thinking in your native language and translating everything in your head before you speak. It is the heaviest handbrake of all.
I am definitely guilty of this. My brain is a slow, 5-step factory for every sentence. It's exhausting.
And it's impossible to be fluent if you are translating. Fluency is about speed and automaticity. Translation is, by its nature, slow and deliberate. Remember our analogy of the 2 rooms in your brain, the big, comfortable native language room and the small, new English room?
Yes, I remember. The translator is always running back and forth between the 2 rooms.
That's right, and that running is what is causing the car to shake. You cannot flow if you are constantly running. So the solution to this block, the way to release this handbrake, is to practice thinking directly in English. You have to start furnishing your English room so you can feel more comfortable in there.
How do I do that again? Can you remind me of the steps?
Of course, it's a 3-level process. Level 1 is labeling your world. You look at objects around you, cup, table, window, tree, and you think the English word directly, without translating. You are building a direct link between the object and the English word. Level 2 is narrating your life. You describe your own actions in simple English sentences in your head. I am walking. I am opening the door. I am drinking water. This connects the words into simple thoughts. Level 3 is internal monologue. You start having simple conversations with yourself in your head. What should I have for lunch? I think I will have a sandwich. This is the practice that builds the thinking in English muscle.
Okay, so releasing the first handbrake is a daily training process of thinking in English, starting very small. That makes sense. What is the second fluency block?
The second block is the perfectionist's prison. This is an emotional handbrake. It's the belief that you must speak perfectly without any mistakes. This fear of being wrong makes you hesitate. You wait till you check the grammar in your head, you search for the perfect word, and while you are doing all of that, the conversation moves on.
This is a huge problem for me. I hate making mistakes. I feel stupid when I say something wrong.
But we have to redefine what a mistake is and what success is. Let me ask you, when you listen to native English speakers talk to each other, are they perfect?
I think so. They sound perfect to me.
Listen more closely next time. You will hear them say things like, I went to that new cafe. What's it called? They forget words. They use filler words like like. They start a sentence, make a mistake, and correct themselves. Yesterday, I went. This is what natural, fluent speech sounds like. It is not a perfect, polished script from a movie. It's messy.
So fluency is not the same as perfection.
Not at all. In fact, perfectionism is the enemy of fluency. Fluency is about flow. It's about keeping the conversation moving forward. The perfectionist waits for the perfect moment and the perfect sentence and says nothing. The fluent speaker jumps into the conversation, makes a few mistakes, corrects themselves, and keeps going. The goal is connection, not correction.
So how do I release this handbrake? How do I stop being a perfectionist?
You have to give yourself permission to be imperfect. You have to change your goal. Your goal for every conversation should not be, I will make no mistakes. Your goal should be, I will communicate my idea. And you must celebrate the attempt. Every time you open your mouth and speak, that is a victory, no matter how many small mistakes you made.
Okay, release break number 1 by thinking in English. Release break number 2 by choosing connection over perfection. My car is starting to feel a bit smoother already. What is the third fluency block?
The third block is what I call the silent library. Your brain is a library filled with all the English you have learned from listening and reading. You have thousands of books on the shelves, all the vocabulary, all the grammar patterns. But when it's time to speak, the library is silent. You can't find the book you need.
Yes, this is my problem exactly. I know the word. I can understand it when you say it, but I can't produce it myself. Why does that happen?
It happens because you have only practiced putting books into the library. You have not practiced taking them out. This is the difference between passive knowledge and active knowledge. Listening and reading are input skills. They are about receiving. Speaking and writing are output skills. They are about creating. Speaking is a physical, muscular skill, like playing the piano. You can watch 1,000,000 hours of piano videos, but you will never be able to play until you put your own hands on the keys.
So all my hours of listening to podcasts are not enough.
They are essential. They are how you fill your library. But to turn that knowledge into a skill, you must actively practice taking the books off the shelf. You must practice the physical act of speaking. This is the active learning part of your routine.
So what are the best exercises for this?
The shadowing technique is a fantastic workout for your mouth. You are practicing the physical movements without the pressure of creating your own sentences. Another great exercise is summarizing. After you listen to a podcast, pause it and try to explain the main idea out loud in your own simple words. And the best practice of all is just trying to use the new words you learn. If you learn a new word today, your mission is to use it in a sentence, even if you are just talking to yourself. You have to practice the act of retrieval.
Okay, so I need to be a more active librarian, constantly taking books off the shelf and putting them back. That makes sense. I'm ready for the last handbrake. What is fluency block number 4?
The fourth block is what I call the practice desert. This is the very common and very real problem of feeling like you have no opportunities to speak. Many learners say, I would practice speaking, but I don't live in an English-speaking country, and I have no one to talk to. They are living in a desert with no water.
I feel like this sometimes too. It's easy to listen or read alone, but speaking needs another person, right?
It is best with another person, but it is not necessary. You do not need a partner to release this handbrake. You can create your own oasis in the middle of the desert. The most powerful tool is the one we already discussed, talking to yourself. Narrate your life. Have an internal monologue. It is zero pressure, zero embarrassment, and you can do it anytime, anywhere. You are practicing the skill of forming thoughts and moving your mouth.
So I can be my own speaking partner?
You absolutely can, and you should be. But there are also endless opportunities to find other people. There are language exchange apps that can connect you with people all over the world for free. You can find a tutor online for just a very reasonable price for 30 minutes a week. And you can focus on those low-stakes interactions in your daily life. Speaking to the barista at the coffee shop is real, valuable practice.
So there are no excuses, really. If I want to practice, I can find a way.
Exactly. Fluency is not an accident. It is the result of releasing these 4 handbrakes. Let's summarize them. Block 1, the translation machine, is solved by practicing thinking in English. Block 2, the perfectionist prison, is solved by changing your goal to connection, not perfection. Block 3, the silent library, is solved by active practice like summarizing and shadowing. And Block 4, the practice desert, is solved by creating your own opportunities, starting with talking to yourself.
The 4 handbrakes, I can see all of them in my own learning. Now that I have a name for them, I feel like I can start to work on them, one by one.
And that is the journey to fluency, Leo. It's not a mystery. It's a process of identifying your blocks and releasing them every single day.
Thank you, Emma. I feel like I finally have the owner's manual for my car. I know how to make it run smoothly now.
You have always had the keys, Leo. Now you just need to release the brakes and start driving. And to our listeners, we encourage you to think about your own driving. Which handbrake is pulled the tightest for you? Start working on that one today.
Thanks for listening to Love English Podcast. Remember, every minute you spend learning English is an investment in your future. Keep learning and see you in the next episode.